25 herbal remedies, known for centuries, used by your great-grandmothers, written into every official pharmacopoeia in the Western world until the 1950s, and today almost completely forgotten. Not because they stopped working, because no one is paid to teach them anymore. Every plant on this list has peer-reviewed research behind it, published in journals your doctor has access to but no time to read. Everyone was replaced by a pharmaceutical equivalent that costs 50, sometimes 300 times more. And most of them can still be grown in your own backyard, harvested from the side of the road or ordered dried for less than the price of a single prescription copay. What you are about to hear is not folklore. It is documented, tested, and in most cases still listed in the German Commission Monographs, the European Medicines Agency Registry, or the Memorial Sloan Kettering Integrative Medicine Database. By the end of this video, you will know 25 remedies that physicians in the 1800s considered absolutely essential. Studies of medical curricula in the United States and the United Kingdom show that the average general practitioner today can name fewer than 4 medicinal plants. And most of those 4 are now in pharmaceutical capsules at 20 times the cost. And the plant at number 25, the final one on this list, is the one the pharmaceutical industry fought hardest to bury after World War II. By the way, thousands of people over 45 have decided that you're just getting older is not an acceptable medical answer. They are inside the green vault, the protocols their doctors do not have time to prescribe, because the system rewards prescriptions, not healing, are in the link in the description. Anyway, let us start where our great-grandmothers always started, with the wound on the hand and the cough in the chest. Number 1, yarrow. Achillea millefolium. Roman soldiers carried yarrow in their kits into every campaign. The Latin name itself comes from Achilles, who, according to legend, used it to stop the bleeding of his wounded men at Troy. A 2021 clinical trial published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology confirmed what Greek physicians already knew. Yarrow compresses reduce bleeding time by nearly half in superficial wounds through a compound called acylene. Your great-grandmother knew this, your doctor was never taught it, and yet it grows wild in every temperate region of North America. Number 2, stinging nettle. Urtica dioica, the plant you curse when you touch it and bless when you drink it dried as tea. 3 cups of nettle infusion per day delivers more bioavailable calcium than a glass of milk, more iron than cooked spinach, and more vitamin K than kale. A study from the University of Maryland Medical Center confirmed freeze-dried nettle extract reduced allergic rhinitis symptoms by 58% in the treatment group. At a fraction of the cost of antihistamines, the pharmaceutical industry replaced it with over-the-counter pills at 20 times the price. Let me show you what is really happening. At some point in the last few years, you left a medical appointment with a new prescription, and the feeling that you were not heard. That was not an impression. That was the system. 7 minutes per consultation on average in the United States, according to data analyzed by the American Medical Association. In that time, sleep, nutrition, herbs, preventive protocols, root causes, none of that fits. A prescription fits. Nearly 40% of Americans over 65 take 5 or more medications simultaneously. Physicians have a name for it, polypharmacy, a disease caused by medicine itself, documented in every major geriatrics journal. The pharmaceutical industry generates over $500 billion annually in the United States, with chronically sick people, not with healthy ones. There's another path. It has existed for generations in integrative and traditional European medicine. Specialists with decades of clinical practice developed exact protocols: plant, dose, timing, combinations, contraindications, drug interactions, for the 8 most common problems in people over 45. Sleep, pain, blood sugar, kidneys, liver, hormones, immunity, metabolism, over 50 guides, verifiable sources, a community of thousands of members. New protocols added every month, quarterly webinars with practicing herbalists and integrative physicians for less than the cost of 1 hour with a private specialist per year. Link in the description or scan the code on screen. Continuing. Number 3, common plantain, Plantago major. Not the banana relative, the broad-leafed weed that grows between sidewalk cracks in every city on earth. Native American healers called it white man's footprint because it followed European settlers everywhere they walked. Chew a leaf and press it on a bee sting or mosquito bite, and the inflammation drops in under 2 minutes. Research at Cornell University confirmed plantain accelerates wound healing through a compound called aucubin, a natural antimicrobial that most dermatologists have never been taught to recognize by name. One more thing. Every year that passes without the right protocol is a year your body works against you. Not because it aged, but because no one gave you the right instruction. Green Vault, link in the description. Continuing. Number 4, common mullein, Verbascum thapsus, the tall yellow-flowered plant that grows on hillsides, abandoned lots, and gravel roadsides. Appalachian families smoked the dried leaves for bronchitis and asthma long before inhalers existed, and the eclectic physicians of the 1880s wrote entire chapters on its respiratory uses. A 2019 paper from the University of Pittsburgh showed mullein leaf tea reduces airway inflammation through a mechanism that parallels low-dose corticosteroids without the immune suppression that comes with them. Number 5. Meadowsweet, Filipendula ulmaria. This is the plant from which aspirin was first extracted in 1899. The name aspirin itself comes from spirea, the old Latin genus name for meadowsweet. The salicylates in meadowsweet protect the stomach lining while reducing pain and inflammation, the exact opposite of what the synthetic aspirin tablet does to the gut. The pharmaceutical version became a billion-dollar product. The original plant was quietly dropped from every medical textbook within 2 decades. Number 6. Self-heal, Prunella vulgaris. The name alone tells you what your ancestors thought of it. Used in European monastic medicine for everything from sore throats and mouth ulcers to early tumors, and still listed in the Chinese Materia Medica as xiaku chao. Current research at Memorial Sloan Kettering is actively studying self-heal compounds for viral infections, including herpes simplex, with published in vitro results showing strong antiviral activity. Number 7. Horsetail, Equisetum arvense, a living fossil, 300 million years old as a species, predating dinosaurs. Horsetail contains more bioavailable silica than any other plant on Earth, which is why the Carstens Foundation in Germany still recommends it for bone density, hair, nails, and kidney gravel. Number 8. Comfrey, Symphytum officinale. Its Old English name was knitbone. Field medics in both world wars used comfrey poultices to accelerate fracture healing, and the German Commission E still lists it for external use. A 2018 systematic review in the journal Phytomedicine confirmed comfrey creams reduce recovery time for sprains, strains, and bruises by over 40%. Number 9. Ladies' mantle, Alchemilla vulgaris. Swiss midwives used ladies' mantle for centuries to normalize menstrual cycles and ease the turbulent years of perimenopause. The genus name comes from the word alchemy, because medieval herbalists believed the dew that collected in its leaves was a sacred substance for transmutation. It is still listed in the German Commission E Monographs as a legitimate treatment for gynecological complaints. It is almost completely unknown in American obstetrics and gynecology practice. We are about to cross the halfway point. The next 15 plants on this list were taught in every pharmacy school in the Western world until the 1950s. After that, the curricula were quietly rewritten, and the plants disappeared from the shelves, though never from the research. Number 10. Motherwort, Leonurus cardiaca. The Latin species name contains cardiaca, heart. Victorian physicians prescribed motherwort extract for heart palpitations and anxiety disorders long before beta blockers existed, and Nicholas Culpeper called it the best herb for strengthening the heart in the whole world. A 2020 meta-analysis in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology showed motherwort extract reduced mild to moderate hypertension in the patient group studied, with no serious adverse events reported. Number 11. Hawthorn, Crataegus monogyna. The German Commission E has officially approved hawthorn for early-stage congestive heart failure since 1994. A 2019 Cochrane review of 14 trials and nearly 900 patients found that hawthorn extract improved exercise tolerance and reduced shortness of breath in heart failure cases, with better tolerability than some pharmaceutical options. Your cardiologist has almost certainly never mentioned it to you. Number 12. Lemon balm, Melissa officinalis, a member of the mint family with a faint citrus scent. Nuns at the Benedictine Abbey of Hildegard of Bingen used lemon balm for sleep and anxiety in the 1100s. A Northumbria University study confirmed lemon balm extract significantly reduced anxiety and improved cognitive performance in stressed adults without the grogginess that comes from pharmaceutical sedatives. Number 13. Skullcap, Scutellaria lateriflora. Native American physicians of the Cherokee Nation used skullcap for nervous exhaustion and insomnia. Modern research at the University of Westminster in London confirmed skullcap extract produces measurable anxiolytic effects comparable to low-dose benzodiazepines, without the dependency risk, still almost entirely absent from American psychiatric practice. Number 14. Elderberry, Sambucus nigra, the dark purple fruit that grows wild on bushes and hedgerows across Europe and North America. A 2019 study published in Complementary Therapies in Medicine showed elderberry extract reduced flu symptom duration by roughly 4 days compared to placebo. Hippocrates called the elder tree his medicine chest. The pharmaceutical industry responded with antiviral drugs priced at $70 per course. Number 15. Calendula, Calendula officinalis, the bright orange flower that every European grandmother kept in the kitchen garden. Calendula cream has documented efficacy for skin healing, lymphatic drainage, and radiation dermatitis, confirmed by a 2004 study out of the Institut Gustave Roussy in France on breast cancer patients undergoing radiation therapy. Number 16, St. John's wort, Hypericum perforatum. A 2008 Cochrane review of 29 trials and over 5,000 patients concluded that St. John's wort is as effective as standard pharmaceutical antidepressants for mild to moderate depression, with significantly fewer side effects. The catch is that it interacts with many medications, which is precisely why most physicians simply avoid mentioning it rather than explaining how to use it safely. Number 17, thyme, Thymus vulgaris, a common kitchen herb with extraordinary antimicrobial properties. The German Commission E approved thyme extract for bronchitis and whooping cough, and studies at the University of Leipzig confirmed its thymol content destroys antibiotic-resistant strains of Staphylococcus in laboratory conditions. Number 18, sage, Salvia officinalis. The Latin verb salvare, to save, is embedded in its genus name. Sage leaf extract reduces hot flashes in menopause by an average of 50% in the first 4 weeks of use, according to a 2011 Swiss clinical trial published in Advances in Therapy. Your gynecologist has almost certainly prescribed hormone replacement without ever mentioning the plant. Number 19, rosemary, Rosmarinus officinalis. Ancient Greek students wore rosemary garlands during examinations because they believed it sharpened memory. Northumbria University researchers confirmed in 2012 that inhaling rosemary essential oil improves memory retention and alertness by measurable percentages in controlled testing. It is also one of the most powerful natural antioxidants ever identified in the food chemistry literature. Number 20, oregano. Oreganum vulgar. Oil of oregano contains carvacrol, which has documented activity against Escherichia coli, Salmonella, and Candida in peer-reviewed literature dating back to the 1990s. The Georgetown University Medical Center published research showing oregano oil was effective against certain antibiotic-resistant bacterial strains, and yet most infectious disease specialists will never recommend it. Number 21, wormwood, Artemisia absinthium. The ancient Egyptian Ebers papyrus, over 3,500 years old, lists wormwood for parasitic infections. Modern Chinese research into a related species, Artemisia annua, produced the anti-malarial drug artemisinin, which won the 2015 Nobel Prize in Medicine for 2UU. The original European wormwood was quietly sidelined in favor of its patented derivative. Number 22, dandelion, Taraxacum officinale. The weed you spray with chemicals to kill in your lawn is one of the most nutrient-dense medicinal plants in existence. The root is a potent liver tonic and mild diuretic, documented in the German Commission E. The leaves contain more vitamin A than carrots and more potassium per gram than a banana. European herbalists have used dandelion for liver and gallbladder support since the 10th century. It is free, it grows everywhere, and it is specifically not in any pharmaceutical pipeline for that exact reason. Number 23, milk thistle, Silybum marianum. Milk thistle extract, standardized to silymarin, is one of the most thoroughly researched liver protective substances ever studied. A 2017 review in the Journal of Clinical and Translational Hepatology documented silymarin's ability to reduce liver enzyme elevations and protect hepatocytes from toxic damage. German emergency rooms still use intravenous silybin as a standard antidote for amanita mushroom poisoning. Almost no American emergency department stocks it. Number 24, black cohosh, Actea racemosa. A native North American plant used by the Cherokee for women's health long before European settlers arrived on this continent. A 2012 Cochrane review confirmed black cohosh extract reduced menopausal symptoms significantly compared to placebo, and the plant remains one of the most prescribed herbal menopause remedies in Germany, while remaining almost invisible in American practice. Number 25, chaga, Inonotus obliquus. This is the one the pharmaceutical industry fought hardest to bury. Chaga is a black mushroom that grows on living birch trees in the boreal forests of Siberia, Finland, and Canada. It is not a plant. It is a fungal organism that concentrates the defensive compounds of the birch over decades of slow growth. The Russian Pharmacopoeia officially registered chaga as an anti-cancer agent in 1955, after a decade of clinical research at the first Leningrad Medical Institute. Memorial Sloan Kettering's Integrative Medicine Database lists over 30 studies on chaga's immunomodulating and tumor-suppressing compounds, including betulinic acid and enotodiol. A 2021 paper in the journal Antioxidants concluded chaga extract demonstrated significant antioxidant and immunoprotective activity in the human trials reviewed. What you do with these 25 plants matters more than the plants themselves. Most people try one, use it incorrectly, see nothing, and conclude the plant does not work. The dose matters, the preparation matters, the combination matters, the contraindications matter enormously if you take any pharmaceutical at all. A tea for nervous insomnia is useless if the water is too hot and destroys the volatile oils. A tincture for inflammation is worthless if it sits in a cabinet for 3 years after the bottle is opened. Your great-grandmother knew these details. The knowledge was handed from mother to daughter across kitchen tables for 10,000 years. Then, in the span of 2 generations, almost all of it was lost. Not because it failed, but because the economic model around health changed. This knowledge did not disappear. It was suppressed, ignored, buried under decades of pharmaceutical marketing budgets larger than the entire research budget of every integrative medicine center on Earth combined. But it lives in every video on this channel. If this video made a difference, subscribe and share it with someone who is taking 5 pills a day and wondering why they feel worse every month. Every share keeps alive what the industry wanted forgotten. The next video opens a new chapter. The 3 plants your liver asks for the moment you cross 40 years old, and why almost no hepatologist will ever prescribe them. Subscribe so you do not miss it. 25 plants, most of them growing in your neighborhood right now or sitting on a shelf at your grocer for less than the price of a cup of coffee. Every one of them was considered essential medicine by the physicians your grandparents trusted. Every one of them still has published research proving your ancestors were not wrong. And every one of them was quietly written out of modern medical practice, not by mistake, but by a system that profits more from chronic illness than from healing. You cannot unlearn what you just heard. From this moment forward, every aisle in the pharmacy looks different. Every prescription your doctor writes comes with a question. What plant did this molecule replace? And what did I lose when I forgot it? This knowledge does not belong to the industry. It belongs to you. Subscribe to Green Vault so no one forgets it.